Let's call meeting to order. Approval of last month's minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve last month's minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you. Just a note on the agenda, we have one item, E8C, that we're gonna pull from the agenda for the meeting due to the fluctuations in the energy market and the prices kind of escalating really on that particular one before awarding the supplier. There's no particular rush to take advantage of the market, potentially reward in advance for a budget perspective, so we'll wait till the next meeting. Things calm down. So we'll remove that and cross that off if that's okay with the board. Okay, great. Aside from that then, just a quick general note that I had to bring the board's attention that we received notice from FTA last week that as expected, they'll be conducting a triennial review with us this year. Every 3 years they come back and review, conduct a review as part of our regular process. In advance review, they've issued a receipt of information requests. There's a whole bunch of documentation we have to provide them in advance of that is due by the end of February 27th to be exact. So we've got a lot going on right now between budget prep and that, but we'll get that submitted as required. Following receipt and processing the information, and they'll get back to us and notify us of the date we'll be on site to conduct the review. So we'll know and make it scheduled.
So that's every 3 years or so?
Every 3 years, yep.
Well, COVID, that they gave us a 4th year on COVID.
Yes.
They extended it out, so.
Yeah, but every 3 years. Aside from that, no real updates on government affairs, local, state, or federal. Then we can just get into the agenda. So first off, we've got finance, payment of bills. AGHL law offices rendered through November and December of 2025. We're including your packet along with Williams and McCarthy services rendered for October, November, and December through the 17th of 2025. Unless there's any questions there. Okay, seeing none. We'll move to the accounts payable invoices for approval this month. We have a total of $4,035.52. The list of items on that will include in your packet. Are there any questions?
Mike, just for clarity, it's $4,020,035.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Dan.
Uh-huh.
My site has been, we do have vision insurance. $4,020,035.52. Thank you.
Yeah, bigger than normal months, but we got 2 months here, right?
Yes.
Making a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Thank you. Moving on, in your packet were the FY25 fixed asset final inventory review for your annual review. If there were any questions related to that, I don't know if Xavier or anyone else had anything you want to touch upon?
It's all in the document, just required to do this annually.
No questions?
No questions. Okay. So if we could have an approval of that?
I'll make a motion to approve the fixed asset final inventory review.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you. Next time, we have the approval of the unaudited financial statements for November of 2025, along with a memo from Xavier about the various items in there. Xavier, you want to hit upon any of that?
Up another pretty basic month, same old, nothing that stood out.
Any questions in particular?
Nope. Move a motion to approve the unaudited financial statements for November 2025.
One second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you. Next, we have the pension portfolio review through December 31st of 2025 and January 20th of 2026, and the pension investment statement for the months ending November 30th and December 31st. Jeff Benedetto from Benedetto Associates is here to review that with us. So, Jeff, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for having me here today. It's good to see everybody. Happy New Year. I apologize in the packet. My materials look a little different than in previous months. I was out of town, so my office sent this over for me, but we'll get through it together. So we'll start out with the 12 31 results. The first portion in your packet is the fiscal results. So if you get past the title page and get to the portfolio performance summary. So this is from 6/30/25 through the end of the year 12/31. So for the fiscal year, we started with 33,399,000. At the end of the value at 12/31, we had 34,932,000. We had a total investment gain of 1.647 million and a total net return of fees of just under 5%. So for the fiscal year, we're off to another wonderful start as far as our targets go that we have with the actuaries. And then we'll move into the next, which is the calendar year performance. That looks a little bit like this. So if you get past the title page again, we have the portfolio overview. So for the calendar year, we started with just under $32 million. And then because of the timing in the calendar year under contributions, it actually shows both full years of pension contributions. And then an ending value again of that 34,932, but a total investment gain of 3.38 million, or on the calendar year up just over 10%. We've been very fortunate in both the selection of our investment managers and the market surrounding us that we've had two very good calendar years and fiscal years. If you move down below to the asset allocation pie chart, overall, our split between equity, fixed income, or bonds and cash is just right at 60/40. That's kind of our target, is somewhere between the 60/40 stocks to bonds or 50/50. A very moderate portfolio is what has been our guide in the history of the pension plan. Any questions on that? If not, if you just want to turn the page, I'll give you a peek at what this year looks like so far from a performance perspective. Again, we start out with the fiscal year, so getting past the title page. Through the 20th of January, we're at 35,295, up $2 million total for the fiscal year, so just under 6%. And then if you turn two more pages in the calendar year, you'll see that we're 1% higher than we finished the year, both on the calendar and the fiscal. So the year has started out very positive, in spite of still having some headwinds that we finished the year with. As far as those headwinds, the Federal Reserve has been, number one, we've got some issues with the Federal Reserve Chairman that our president would like him to be replaced, so we've got a little drama there. But the Fed did lower rates in December. Now the Fed meets this week to discuss interest rates. The consensus is they will keep rates steady. The data that supports decisions like that has remained stable. Inflation is tame. Prices have not increased month over month. So right now, that seems to be the decision that will be made later this week. Earnings season is off to a strong start. Financial companies are beating estimates, and tech continues, AI tech in specific, continues to keep the equity markets higher, which we've seen in our portfolio so far this year. But as far as headwinds, we have some geopolitical issues, and obviously we've got issues with Canada and Iran, so we seem to shrug, the economy seems to shrug that off right now. They are there. There's been no bubbling of it, but the markets, because of the data, have continued to move higher, which is a good thing. As you all know, we have another pending government shutdown next week, so we'll see what happens there. The consensus again is that they won't come to terms before the deadline, so we'll see some downtime moving forward. As far as the portfolio goes, we made some changes early next year, which really paid some dividends for us. As I look at the portfolio, we are going to make some changes. We're going to do some rebalancing. So selling our appreciated assets, so selling high and buying low, if you will. So some of the large cap companies that did well and were up double digits for us in the 20% return range, we're going to pare those back, and we're going to fund some cash, which also will fund our pension obligations for the first part of the year. We're also going to pare back our small cap a little bit and move that into the international category. International was one of the best performing categories last year, and because of some of the things we have going on in the U.S. right now, that seems to be the the performing place in the markets right now. So we're gonna take advantage of some of that and move probably about 2% out of small cap into developed international. Beyond that, the rest of our managers are doing well. We keep reviewing them and we keep an eye on our asset allocation and other than those changes, I don't have anything else to report as far as management of the portfolio goes.
Sounds good.
Next month, I think Mike is gonna have the actuaries in, so I won't be here. So I'll send a written report, because I don't wanna take up too much time. So,
That's right. So, thank you so much, Jeff. Appreciate your time as always.
thank you all.
Thank you. All right, moving on then to E3, the operations, maintenance, and facilities report. Report included in the packet for review, but Dan, do you want to walk us through those items?
Yeah, in the interest of time, I'll just hit the December stuff since we've got 2 months worth of data in here. The December on the, oh, sorry, my screen just went crazy. December fixed route, we had 311 passengers in December, which is 13% higher than last December. I will note there was an extra weekday in 25. But overall, we're up. Paratransit, our number is down 6.2% versus December of last year. I will note we did have a lot of cancellations in December due to some inclement weather, which I'm sure the January report's going to reflect that as well. I would take that December weather over this right now, but so that's really why that number is down a little bit. Vehicle report, George's team's doing a great job. All the PMs were done on time and vehicle availability remains where it should be. I'm going to skip the hybrid fleet right now. I'll talk about that in a second. You may remember we have a supervisor vehicle we ordered quite a ways back. It's supposed to be ready for pickup in February, so we'll get that and get our cameras in there and rotate an older vehicle on service, which will help us out a little bit. Our building maintenance guys, with the lack of snow so far in December, they've spent a lot of time catching up on preventive maintenance, so that's always helpful. Project report, facility expansion, some big milestones, some things that were keeping us from being able to get our occupancy permit down the road. We didn't have them in, included the gas meter, water meter, the electric switchgear, which has been a holdup since day one, and the concrete pad outside what will be the main entrance. So we're moving forward. We did include the report from CCS in there for your knowledge, but those are some big milestones that we got those taken care of. BCCA is set to go live with the Trip Spark finally, February 2nd. There was a little question last week, but I think we're still good on that date, as far as you know.
Yeah, that's what they're aiming for.
Okay. So we're gonna have some staff out there to assist them and hopefully it goes smooth. And the fiber project is moving forward. IT's been meeting with those guys on a regular basis, and that should be moving forward. They're waiting for a little better weather because they gotta do some underground digging. So hopefully towards a couple more weeks, they'll be ready to get underground and hook into where they need. So any questions on that?
Is BCCA our last kind of group then for Trip Spark to go live?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering, for the website too, if we can update just information on Trip Spark. I figured we probably don't want to put a bunch of varying information as we had different things happening, but getting some of the new info, I guess, about.
Yeah, and we'll make sure they update theirs as well. But yeah, once we know, I can work with Orlando, once we know for sure they're actually going.
Yeah.
Because as you said, I'd hate to push it out there, then it's not till the 9th and people are going crazy and wondering what's going on. So I wanted to talk just briefly about the chart that's right after my report. So this is generated from BAE a few months ago. Outdated you on some increased geozones that we're going to start doing. So this data here really doesn't include the new expanded zones, but we wanted to just kind of have this for reference for now. So like a year from now when we look at it, we can kind of look back and compare the two. So this is for a year snapshot of all the hybrid buses. I'll really just draw your attention to the last three columns. So engine off is exactly what it is, engine off. So if it's at a stoplight or if it's in or full electric mode, the engine's off. So that's just showing you percentages. On an average, 21% of the time the engine's off in those vehicles, which obviously is a reduction in pollution and noise and all that stuff. Total EV miles, again, that's how many miles each bus ran in fully electric mode, which certainly it's not as good as a full electric bus, but also there's a lot less headaches with these than the other ones. So, and then you can see in the last column there that on an average we were 4.7. All miles on those buses were 4.7 of them were in strictly in electric mode. So we also did some fuel mileage comparison. A hybrid gets an average of 6.4 miles to a gallon versus a regular diesel buses get 3.6. So that's about a 43% difference. So, so this may be something down the road, depending on what the electric market is and directives from the FTA and the White House. It may be something we look back into going to the hybrids, which, you know, I feel I think it's a pretty successful program. So, but time will tell on that. Once we get funding for our next round of buses, we'll probably be having a discussion on what we're going to be doing.
So the last three columns, as Dan mentioned, we'll circle back on those once we see the impact of the increased geozone areas. So it'll be interesting to see how that bumps up.
Yeah, if you remember, I think we added close to 40 of them when we did the last update. So we just don't have enough data right now to really share with the new stuff, but we can get that report on whenever basis we need.
Yeah, great to see that data. And I'd just say on the, just looking through kind of the route reports and the usership on the fixed route was curious to check out how our increased frequency was doing, and just cool to see in all of those stats that we're seeing big increases because, I'm assuming because of the increased frequency. So it's not just that the same people are going at different times, it's more people more of the time. So cool to see that play out in the stats.
Yep, that's a great note, and obviously, we mentioned last week, or last month, that we were anticipating a bump up in December, and so as you know, some report that we're a tick above where we were fiscal year to date last year, so now we kind of climbed past that. So despite the rather poor weather, it'll be interesting to see how we fall in January, but we know that indicates that there seems to be a little bit more heavy, or a little bit more utilization of the services than we had in the past. It's good to see.
Quick question. I'm gonna go back to the previous meeting last month. Did we resolve Mrs. Walker's issues with the paratransit call-ins? I'm just checking in to see if we were able to get a resolution to it.
Yeah, I sat down and had a meeting with her, and we spoke to her, and I listened to her concerns, and we've been monitoring the situation.
Oh, super.
And we've definitely been doing all we can.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Great, thank you, Dan. Let's move along then to E4, Human Resources, the Claims History Report for November and December, included in your packet. Susan, anything to note there?
I haven't even gotten to that yet in my.
The 2 months of graphs really makes it a long report.
No, I think we're doing okay.
The usual fluctuations on a month-to-month
Yes.
basis, so.
We haven't seen any huge spikes, which is good though.
All right, moving along then to E5 Marketing. Marketing report included in the packet for your review. Orlando, you want to touch that?
Yeah, just put some updates about some community trainings that we have coming up with some community partners to help their staff and individuals in their programs to navigate our system a little bit better. Also kind of a initiative that we're going to do with our passengers to pass out some things to help them get have their overall experience a little bit better riding our system during this weather. So some hats and gloves and some other winter things. We're also looking into some safety belts to, as it get nighttime, standing so you can be more visible. Also listed advertisement that we have secured for the year, this upcoming year. And then lastly, some initiatives for Black History Month that we've done for the last couple of years on our buses with the advertisement. So yeah, that's all listed in the menu.
Questions? Seeing none, we'll keep moving along then. E6, no grants report for this month. E7, safety and training. The safety and training update report for December was included in your packet. As noted in there, we had some additional training that we were doing as part of our EDA program, and that was done in partnership with our partners at RAMP, who help us conduct that ADA sensitive training on an annual basis. Aside from that, Drex, was anything else to note?
Just that our costs are coming down, which is really good. I know for 5 incidents last month, unfortunately 4 of them were people hitting us with inclement weather and everything. 3 of the injuries, the total workers' compensation injuries, all 3 of those were results of vehicle collisions. So, yeah, unfortunately, when we get bad weather, it kind of happens sometimes, unfortunately. But our works comp insurance carrier we just had a meeting with them the other day, and they were actually really pleased our costs have come down. So we're continuing to jab at it, work.
Any questions? Yeah. All right, we'll keep moving along then. On to other business. So the first item under E8A is approval of designation of signature authority. Paul, can you touch on that?
Yeah, this is something that we actually do every year for Mike, to give him the authority to go into FTA and approve the asserts and assurances, do the pinning, other submitting grants, that type of thing. I usually present this to you with asserts and assurances every year. Pastor Jay, you might know that. And but this year we have some new FTA people with all the changes. So they wanted this done earlier because they wanted to list every single role that is given to Mike. So it's the same as before, it's just I list out all the roles on the side. So I just need to get approval from you guys.
Move the motion to approve Mike's designation of signature authority to the FTA.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next item we have is the approval of the maintenance access agreement between RMTD and Windmill Hill LLC for the location at 3601 North Main, which is Northtown Mall. So we currently have a longstanding agreement with Rockford, or actually Forest City Church, for a maintenance and access agreement at that property for our Rockford Career College transfer location. The Northtown Mall is our other major transfer location outside of the Eastside Transfer Center in downtown, the State of Linn-Mar area. That transfer location is on their property. We have our shelters on their property. So as part of this is to kind of formalize the agreement and what we expect from them in terms of maintaining our shelters there, picking up trash, plowing snow, maintaining their lighting, and so forth, and for us to be able to come on their property and do that. And so this is similar to what I said, what we have with Rockford Career College. There's a monetary fee for their services to do those things, and in terms of being fair and reasonable, it's the same amount as we pay for a city to do the same thing. So this is something new, but their property management is looking to get something more formal in terms of our arrangement at that facility, and we think that has tremendous value based on the number of passengers that we carry through there that utilize that facility. So we're asking for approval of this maintenance and access agreement to move forward with that.
So then they do the maintenance and the garbage removal and all of that for those stuffs?
Yep. And plow snow and those things. Yep.
And this for 5,000?
Yes, annually. Yep.
Motion to approve the agreement of maintenance and access agreement between RMTD and Windmill Hill LLC.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. As I mentioned, item C, we're pulling that until next month. So that gets us to nearly the end of our agenda. We have executive session today. And the next meeting is scheduled for Monday, February 23rd at
Yes.
3:30.
And that should be on your calendars because that was to do with the budget. So we got February and March both on the calendars.
And then we have the February 9th, right?
Yes, your planning session, yes. And that will be here.
Here.
Not the east side, it'll be here. The other location is booked for that date, so it'll be here in Missouri. Okay. Go into executive session to discuss collective bargaining matters and personnel matters, along with litigation matters.
And do we make motions? I'll make a motion to move into executive session.
Second. Aye.
I make a motion to end the executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're gonna end the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
All right, so